Dear friends, we have with us our next eminent speaker, Professor P.K. Singla, and who will be talking about the human values and ethics to be imparted for the to the students, especially when they are going for the job roles. So it is my proud privilege to introduce the speaker to the gathering. Professor P.K. Singla is presently faculty in charge administration in the NITTTR Chandigarh itself, and he has more than 36 years of experience at NITTTR itself, and also 1.5 years in Punjab Irrigation Department. Professor Singla is from Civil Engineering Department and holds a M.Tech degree in Irrigation and Hydraulics from Punjab Engineering College. He has large number of research papers, more than 95 research papers in various journals of repute, and has also undertaken the projects of curriculum design and faculty development programs and extension service projects. He has number of books published on applied mechanics, English and communication skills, and basics of management. And he has given large number of expert lectures and is a favorite speaker in so many lectures on whether it is curriculum design or effective teaching learning, student evaluation, or developing generic and soft skills, communication skills, yoga, and professional ethics, and so much and so on. And he's a rower and a very eminent sports person, whether it is rowing or basketball or so many yoga and everything. Seven times I think he's national champion of yoga also. So when he will talk about human values and ethics, it will be like telling a story, but getting so much of information, not only for students but for yourself also. So I welcome on behalf of all the participants to Professor Singla. And sirs, in this program, we have 5 remote centers from Tamil Nadu and from Ambala and from UP and Chennai. So 5 remote centers are there, and large number of participants from the NITTTR Chandigarh are also join with us. So thank you so much for taking out time, and I would now request you to take over the sessions.
Namaskar and a very good afternoon to everyone. At the very outset, I would like to thank Dr. Meenakshi for giving me an opportunity to interact with all of you. I am seeing in the list of the participants who have joined online, some of the participants are known by their name, and I can see that they might have attended my previous sessions also in some of the STCs. Well, friends, coming straight to the agenda on values and ethics, which is very, very close to my heart. This topic is very, very close to my heart. And it is very difficult to cover everything about values and ethics in a very short period of 1.5 hours. But nevertheless, we will try to learn its significance and how it can help our students to get the right kind of employment. And it is now being taken up as a part of the curriculum, especially under the new National Education Policy 2020. The government is very serious about it, and it should be also very serious about it. And we will try to see what are those basic universal human values and ethics which we need to convey to our student, which can fetch them not only the jobs, but they can be good, responsible citizens of the country. And I know that in the afternoon sessions, it is very difficult for the teaching community to listen. I mean, teaching for the teaching community to listen in any session becomes very difficult, but more so because of two factors. first of all, we are online hai, or number two is that we are meeting in the afternoon session, but nevertheless, we will try to make it as much interactive as possible. Usually, I do 5-day program only on ethics and values, where we touch upon in a very detailed manner, various aspects of ethics and values. But within this 1.5 hours, I will be talking to you some of the very important things related to this topic. And I want your wholehearted participation. Without your participation, the session will not be possible. So I request each one of you to kindly participate wholeheartedly and interact with me and with other participants so that we can learn. I usually come to my class not to teach anything, but to learn from all of you. So my learning, my selfish interest is that I must learn from you people who are dealing at the grassroots level with the students community. And this session is not only for the students, it is for all of us as teaching community and for the society also. And many of the things which I am going to cover in this session, there are not many new things, but in a right perspective. I'll try to put it in a right perspective, why it is so very important. And in my session, if time permits, I will share some stories, as Dr. Meenakshi mentioned in her introductory remarks. I will share some videos and some presentations also, and we will interact also. We will do some exercise also. Yes? Are we ready?
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
so much. Thank you so much, Manju and Shilpa and other people. Thank you so much. Uh, to start the session, let me start it with a story, if you all permit me. And some of you who have attended my session previously on the topic, they might have heard this story previously also, because this is one of my very favorite story, but very relevant. I like to myself read this story over and over again, and
Dr. Shilpi, please mute yourself. Dr. Shilpi, thank you.
this story is about jewels under the saddle. And as I mentioned that in the afternoon sessions, and that too on the online program, it is very difficult for the audience to focus on the session. But then the best way is that to interact with all of you. I would like to now invite one person from the audience, I mean, from all of you, who would like to volunteer and read the slides with me. I like somebody who is a good storyteller, and he or she can join and read the story with us. Who would like to volunteer? I like somebody to represent the whole group of participants who are attending the program online. I want one volunteer to read the slides with me, read the story with me, with all the participants. Yes, Dr.
Hello.
Gautam Sharma.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible. गरिमा शर्मा. ओ, आपका ना थोड़ा पीछे
Yeah.
ब्राइटनेस ज्यादा, तो पढ़ा नहीं जा रहा. Your name is
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Garima Sharma, sir.
Garima. Garima Sharma, you will have to volunteer yourself to read the slides with me, read the story.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you see the slides? Can you see
I'm
the
able
slides?
to see the first slide, sir. Jewels
Yes.
under
Okay.
the saddle.
Yeah, jewels under the saddle.
Yes, sir.
And my dear friends, I am very happy and thank you so much, Garima, for volunteering yourself uh, for sharing this story with all the participants. And all the participants can read it also, and they can listen to Dr. Garima now. Okay, friends, this story uh, was told to me by my granny, my grandmother, when I was very young. And this story is very popular in our area of where I come from. I come from a small village near district Mansa now. Earlier it was in district Bathinda in Punjab. And this story was very popular there. And my granny must have told me this story number of times. TV and radio were not there, so granny used to be the source of entertainment, but you have to please her. You have to please her to tell the stories. She used to be very pleasant personality anyway. But then we used to रात को सोने से पहले हम लोग उनके टांग में पैर वगैरह दबाते थे, तो वो then she used to come out with many number of stories, and we used to enjoy listening to the stories, even if it is repeated number of times. The way she used to present it. I am going to share this story with all of you, my dear friends, with the hope that this story you will be sharing with your students, with your family members, and you will enjoy this story. And there is a bonus for all of you for listening to Garima and reading the story, because, as an old Irish saying goes, three apples fell from a tree. One for him who tells the story. So Garima, you are going to have one apple, and one for him or her, who read
Uh,
and listen to the story. So all of you are going to get one apple also. Garima is going to get two apples because she's going to read also and she's going to tell also. And I want all of you to have third apple also. Uh, Pay your full attention to the story. Story is very, very beautiful story. So I want everyone to have one apple at least. And when you will share this story with others, you will get the other two apples also. All right. So, Garima, you are definitely going to get two apples, and I hope you understand it also very well, and you get the third apple also. And all the participants get one apple,
I
and
hope so too, sir.
yeah, and I expect them to have the other two also by sharing this story with others. My dear friends, in our part of the country, जहाँ पे मैं, my native place, I told you it was a semi-desert area. The only means of transport was camels at that time, when I was very young, and there was one or two buses also used to go to my village. This story is era before that also. I mean, my granny must have heard this story from her granny. So the camels were there, and there used to be cattle fairs, like we have cattle fairs. We buy and sell the cows and other cattle, horses also. Now in our times, there used to be camel fairs. So over to you, Garima. Now you will tell the story to everyone. This story is about the saddle, jewels under the saddle. Saddle means the जहाँ पे बैठते हैं. The rider sits on the saddle. जैसे you have a horse saddle, we used to have a camel saddle also. So this story is about the jewels. Jewels means the pearls and the precious stones under the saddle. Over to you, Garima, now.
Yes, sir. Sir, unfortunately, the slide 4 is visible, but I can only see the camera. I can't see the text here.
Uh, Dr. Meenakshi,
Okay, now I can.
okay,
Now I
okay,
can.
okay.
Okay. So we start with the story. Once upon a time, what happened did happen, or you wouldn't be hearing the story. A merchant on a casual jaunt, a short excursion or journey made for pleasure, through a market, came across a fine specimen of a camel for sale. The merchant and the camel seller, both skilled negotiators, struck a hard bargain. The camel seller, pleased with his skill of warming out what he felt was a very good price, parted with his camel, and the merchant chuffed that he had struck a fantastic bargain, proudly walked home with the latest addition to his large livestock.
So there was a merchant and he was passing through the market and he saw a very beautiful camel on sale and he bought it. And both were very happy. Camel seller was very happy that he got a good price for his camel, and merchant was also very happy that he got a very good camel to his existing livestock. All
Deal.
right? Ji. Yes, Garima. No, Garima, you are muted. Unmute yourself and read the slide from the beginning. Garima, you are not being listened to by anyone. Hello. Dr. Garima, you are muted. Please unmute yourself.
I think Dr. Garima, you are muted. Please.
Hello, am I audible now, ma'am?
Yes,
Yes, yes.
Am I audible now?
yes, you are audible.
Okay. On arriving home, the merchant called to his servant to come and help him take out the camel's saddle. The unwieldy, heavy padded saddle being too difficult for the servant to manage on its own. Hidden under the saddle, the servant found a small velvet pouch, which on opening he discovered to be filled with precious jewels. The servant was overexcited. Master, you bought a camel, but see what came free along with it.
So when he came home and he gave the camel to his servant and to remove the saddle and put it in the livestock. And when servant was removing the saddle, he found a pouch, a velvet pouch containing very precious jewels. And he said, Master, you bought a camel, but see what came free with it. Yes, Garima.
Moving to the next slide. Due to internet issue, I think I'm not able to see the slide that smoothly. I would request somebody else to volunteer.
Yeah, I would like to request because I think there's some time lag of the slides with Dr. Garima. Else will like to continue with the story. I want another volunteer now. Who will
So
like
I
to?
like to read the story.
Okay, Manju, Meena,
Yes, sir.
आप कहाँ से हैं मैम?
So Ajmer, Rajasthan.
Oh, very good. चलिए, आप बताइए मैम. चलिए story.
The merchant was astonished as he looked at the jewels in his servant's palm. They were of extraordinary quality, sparkling and twinkling in the sunlight. I brought the camel, he said, not the jewels. I must return them to the camel seller immediately. The servant was aghast, filled with horror or shock. His master was really foolish. Master, no one will know. But the merchant handed right back to the market and handed over the velvet pouch back to the camel seller.
These lines are very important, which I have put in the blue color here. I bought the camel and not the jewels. This was the merchant's response to the servant. I must return them to the camel seller. I have bought only this, but then this came, he said it came free, but he said I have not paid for it. Yes, Manju?
Yes, sir.
So what happened next?
The camel seller was very happy. I had forgotten that I hide the jewels in the saddle for safekeeping. Here, choose one of the jewels for yourself as a reward. The merchant said, I paid for a fair price for the camel and the camel only. So, no, thank you. I do not need any rewards. But as much as the merchant refused, the camel seller insisted. Finally, the merchant said, sheepishly smiling, actually, when I decided to bring the pouch back to you, I already took two of the most precious jewels and kept them for myself.
The story is becoming more interesting. Yes, Manju?
Yes, sir.
The camel seller was telling him that you keep one jewel as a reward. He said, "Okay, no, 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 I don't want to keep any reward." But he kept on insisting. Then the merchant said, "Okay, actually, I have kept not one, but the
Already two.
two, the
Hmm.
most precious ones." The story is becoming very interesting. Manju is representing all the other participants. So I am interacting with Manju, thinking that I am talking to all of you, my dear friends. Okay, Manju, next.
At this confession, the camel seller was a bit flabbergasted. greatly surprised or astonished, and quickly emptied the pouch to count the jewels. However, he was very confused. All my jewels are here. What jewels did you keep?
The camel seller was very confused and excited. What jewels? Two jewels he has kept. He emptied the pouch and counted it, and he found that all jewels are here. And he said, "Okay, what jewels did you keep?" Yes, Manju, please carry on.
The two most precious, said the merchant, my integrity and my self respect.
These are the two jewels which are priceless. If at any price you have to maintain your integrity and your self respect, that amount is no amount for these two jewels which each one of us are having. And the merchant said that I kept these two jewels with me, my integrity and my self respect. Manju, you have to unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
And what is integrity?
Integrity is choosing your thoughts and actions based on values rather than personal gain.
Choosing, it is your choice. You make a
Hmm.
choice, your thoughts and your actions based on values rather than
Values,
he could have
personal
kept
gain.
the jewels with him, the whole pouch, but he tried to keep the two most jewels, integrity and self-respect.
Self respect.
And based on the values, he made a choice of his thought first and then the action. And what is self-respect, Manju?
Self respect, if you do not have it, the world will walk over you.
Yeah, self-respect is something. If I lose my self-respect, the whole world will walk all over me. So that's the significance of self-respect. Whatever amount of money you are having, whatever, if you do not have a self-respect, मैं अपनी ही नजरों में यदि गिर जाऊं, आई एम नॉट
Hmm.
टॉकिंग अबाउट द पीपल, हाउ पीपल विल व्यू एट मी, मैं अपने आप से, अपने दर्पण से, अपने मिरर से नजरें नहीं मिला पाऊं, if I am not able to meet eyes with my own self, with my own mirror means my own soul,
Hmm.
that is the loss of your self-respect. Then the whole world will, walk
Walk
over.
over.
So these are the two jewels. Thank you so much, Manju. You are a great
Thank you,
storyteller.
sir.
And thank you so much, Garima, also. Due to some technical problems, she could not continue with us. We'll come back to the participants again. How would you explain integrity to a young child? Roger Jenkins, he explained the ability to do right thing or choosing to do the right thing. Your ability to do right things or choosing to do the right thing when you could get away with doing the wrong things. If the merchant had kept the pouch, nobody would know. His servants told him that nobody would know, nobody will do this. But you choose to do the right thing when you have a choice and you choose to do the right thing. That is your integrity. And thank you so much, my dear friends. I hope you enjoyed the story and learned few lessons from it. Now, before I go further on my presentations over here, my dear friends, uh, let me do a small exercise. How significant it is to have the right kind of values and ethics. Dr. Meenakshi has given you the title of the whole STC is Curriculum Design for Developing Job-Related Competencies. Yes, this is the title of the your STC is Curriculum Design for Developing Job-Related Competencies. Job-related. Job means what the employer is looking for in their students. Your curriculum should be aligned with that. If you are able to prepare a curriculum, develop a curriculum, its planning, its execution, and its evaluation of the students as per the requirements of the potential employers, those people who are going to employ your students, then that is you have met the purpose. Then your student will be employed. And let me share, my dear friends, that what the employer is looking for. $1 million question is, we have to align our students, our curriculum in a way that they meet the requirement of our potential employers. Now, the $1 million question is what the employer is looking for in our students. Besides the hard skills, which you are going to provide to the student in 3 years in diploma and 4 years in degree program, they look for life skills, what we call them soft skills. And the mother of all the soft skills or the life skills is communication. They look for the students' communication skills, which affect their interpersonal relations and team working and many other things. Yes. And besides hard skills and communication, which is one of the very basics of soft skills, the second most important soft skill after the communication skills is their ethics and values. Their ethics and values. My dear friends, let me prove it. You might be thinking that since Dr. Meenakshi has given me this topic, I am speaking too much about ethics and values. How come the employment of the student depend on ethics and values? My dear friends, let me share with you. Even if the student lack somewhere in their hard skills, जो उन्होंने पढ़ा 4 साल में डिग्री प्रोग्राम में या 3 साल में डिप्लोमा में, जो whatever they have studied in 3 years hard skills, in 3 years in diploma or 4 years in a undergraduate program, even if they lack somewhere there, but if they are very high on the ethics and values, there is employment for them. And the companies, the multinational companies or the other companies, when they visit your campuses, they like to see how ethical and what kind of values your students are carrying with them. They like to see that. And there are jobs for them if they are very high on ethics and values. Let me prove it to all of you. We will do it with the interaction. We will do it with the exercise. Are you ready? Yes, Manju?
Yes, sir.
I am Ashima Kathuria. You are also ready. Everybody should be ready with this exercise. Yes? So I like to choose one person who is going to say yes or no on behalf of all of you. Maybe Ashima, you would like to say something? You will like to be with me for my next course of the session? Okay. So you can, if it's convenient, you can switch on the video. So when I'm talking to Ashima, I'm talking to all of you now. Manju, you can switch off your video now. Thank you so much. Ashima, आप कहाँ से हैं?
Sir, MIT मेरठ, UP.
मेरठ से हैं. Very good, ma'am. आप कौन से कॉलेज में हैं?
Sir, Meerut Institute of Engineering and Technology.
What subject you teach there, ma'am?
Sir, I'm from Department of Biotechnology. I teach immunology.
Oh, very good, very good. So important है ना, आजकल के टाइम में तो सबसे ज़्यादा important
Yes.
है. All times में important थी. Now we have understood the significance of how immune our systems are. Anyway, so coming to the, Ashima is going to take a journey with me for next part of my session, for some part of my session now, and she is representing all the participants now. Okay, you are, ma'am, I'm taking your yes or no, or when you will be interacting with me, I will assume that everybody else is with me. All right, because it's very difficult to interact with 71 people who have joined online. So you are the representation of, you're representing all the participants. Okay. So my dear friends, I give you a case here, a small case. Suppose I put you in the category of potential employers. Ashima Kathurias are from J&K basically, yes?
No, sir, no, sir.
Okay, Kathurias are many.
Punjabis.
Punjabis also and
Punjab.
J&K maybe.
I don't know what J&K is.
Okay, so Ashima, I put you in a position of the employer. Suppose you have to choose a person and you have a vacancy and you want to employ somebody there. Okay. And now I am asking Ashima and all of you also. Ashima is going to represent and talk to me on behalf of all of you, that what are you looking for if you have a vacancy. Okay, let me go ahead with the case first. Ashima, nowadays both husband and wives are working. Most of the husband and wives are working. Ashima is also working. Her husband must be working somewhere. And we require a helping hand at our homes who can do our cleaning of the home, cleaning of the utensils, cleaning of the uh, clothes. We require to, small helps are required because you cannot put that kind of time as the full time housemakers women are able to do that, or the husbands are able to do that. So we have a vacancy of employing a maid. You are the employer and you require a maid. I give you two maids. You have to choose one of them. A maid, maid A, first maid. She is excellent in her hard skills. She is excellent, 10 out of 10. When she washes utensils, you can see like mirror, you can see your face in that. Excellent. And when she cleans the floor, you can again see your face in the floor. She expect clean floor. And when she washes the uh, clothes, your friends in the college or in the neighborhood will say, ask you, have you bought the new suit or new sari or new dress? Excellent in her technical skills. Yes, Ashima? Unmute yourself, Ashima, please.
Yes, sir.
So you got the maid, first candidate, who is 10 out of 10 in her hard skills. And my dear friend, this maid has small problem. She is not a professional thief. She is not a professional thief. She is having no ill will against anyone, but she has small habits. While washing the utensils, if she feels tempted to take away one spoon or one katori sometime and put it in her bag. Mind you, she is not a thief. She just pick up small thing. If she's, let us say, cleaning your room, if your lipstick is there or small thing is lying on the floor or on the table and all, she has a tendency to pick it up. Or while she is washing the clothes and all, she will check the pockets. If there is anything left there, she like to pocket it in her own pocket. So, my dear friends, she has 10 out of 10 in her technical skills, Ashima,
Yes, sir.
but she is somewhere 6 or 7 in her ethics and values. This is one candidate. 10 out of 10 in her hard skills, so good, but then 6 or 7 in her ethics and values. And now I give you the second mate. That's the second candidate. You are on the campus interview or they are coming to you for the interview. You are the potential employer. Now, second maid is about 7 in that hard skills. Sometimes when she washes the utensils, you have to rinse them again, or you have to do the dusting yourself sometimes in the home on the weekends. And sometimes you have to tell her that your clothes are not, the collar of the things or the something in the clothes are not properly washed and all. So she has 7 or 8 or 6 in the hard skills. But then the first maid, I forgot to mention that the A maid is very talkative maid. She is very talkative. She will give you the story of your neighborhood to whom she is visiting, that so and so uske ghar mein ye hua, uske ghar mein ye hua. She's very talkative. You get all the stories. But the B maid is very boring. She comes to your home, does her job very quietly, and goes back. But then she has 7 in the hard skills, uh, as I mentioned. But then she is 10 out of 10 in ethics and values. You can depend on her. You don't have to be supervising her when she's washing the clothes or when she's washing the utensils or when she is cleaning the home. You don't have to follow her. You don't have to police her. You can leave your home and go to the market, and when you come back, you find everything is in its first place. So she is 10 out of 10, and she doesn't talk about anybody in neighborhood. So you don't get any story, and your story is not being told
Anyone?
to the anyone else also. So you are very sure about that. Now my question is, you will like to have a maid who is 10 out of 10 in the hard skills, A maid, and 7 in the
Values.
ethics and values, or you will like to have B maid who is 7 in the hard skills but 10 out of 10 in the ethics and values. Whom you will select, Ashima ma'am?
Sir, maid B,
Maid
because I
B.
have the same maid, exactly same as you described just now. Exactly
You
same.
will go for that. But then you are missing out 10 out of 10 boy or a girl in the college. I would like to know from other people. You can put it in the chat box. Which maid you will select?
Obviously, sir, it's not like we are always looking for the toppers only. We also aim that the student should be decent enough, regular enough, disciplined
Yes,
enough.
yes.
Even if he or she is weak, then it is our responsibility that we can groom or we can help them out to be above average as he is average or below average. Then it is our duty to upgrade his performance. But
I
values
think
and ethics are
I think
always
आशिमा मेरे को लेक्चर देने की जरूरत नहीं है because everybody mentioned here, Gokul, Manju,
everybody, sir,
Pavan,
all the
everybody
responses.
has chosen B made,
Be.
है ना? So my point which I wanted to share with all of you was that which maid you will select. The same, when I put you on the position of the employer, you have yourself chosen a person who is high on the ethics and values. And why so? Because it is very difficult to imbibe the ethics and values in a person. Very, very hard, but it is not impossible. My dear friends, why it is so important to have that 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 in ethics and values? Because in the market, when you go to the multinational companies, Ashima, thank you so much. We'll get back
Thank
to
you.
you again. Thank you so much. Uh, when we go to the market for ethics and values, uh, when the companies work, the ethics and values become very essential for them to for their employees. I can prove it. I can prove it. Like I first point I have proved is that your ethics and values rate at a higher scale when it becomes to the selection of your candidates. So one of the things Dr. Meenakshi ने जैसे लिखा है इस प्रोग्राम के अंदर, curriculum design for developing job related competencies. Job related competencies में उनकी ethics and value is one of the very important component which you must imbibe through the lectures or through the role models or through whatever way you want to do. We will try to talk about that also. So this is very important. Now why it is so important? You don't want to police, you don't want to supervise. Ashima, yes or no?
Definitely, sir. Yes, sir.
You don't want to, I mean, police somebody. You if you have to be there all the time with the maid, watching her all the time, what is the fun of having a maid then?
Having her. Definitely,
And
sir.
then the companies, if they hire people and if they require supervisors, and the supervisors are also employees, if they are also not very high on the ethics and value, they require supervisors के ऊपर भी supervisor चाहिए. This is exactly what is happening. How much money you will spend on the management, on the administration, on the other things to supervise the things. We do not want that. We want that a job has been assigned and you do it with all your ability, honestly, sincerely, and all loyalty and patriotism. We want that. Uh, if you all permit me, let me share one anecdote here. Yes, Ashima, you permit me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
A few years back, I and my wife, we went to Germany. Thank you so much, Aparna, for your feedback. Made B. We went to Germany. It was 2007, 2000 and about I think 10 years back, 2012 या 13 की बात है. We went there, and I didn't know German language at all. And I went for a mission, as Dr. Meenakshi mentioned that I am in the rowing sport. I went for the World Cup, for umpiring the World Cup there in Munich. Uh, After the championship was over, me and my wife decided to stay for some more days since we have gone so far and see the country, German country also. And I requested one of my friends who became friends later on, but then it was her name was in the journal which I subscribed to. And I just wrote an email to the lady that if you can help me for stay arrangements for 3 to 4 days, economical stay arrangements, I will be very, very obliged. And this lady responded to me immediately, and she said that she has a studio apartment which is lying vacant besides her apartment, her own apartment in the neighborhood, and you can come with your wife and live there. And we stayed there for 3 4 days. And during these 3 4 days, one of the evenings, they invited us over the dinner, and we were having an informal conversation with the couple, she and her husband, and me with my wife, and we were having informal conversation over the dinner table. And during the dinner table, they asked me a number of questions about India, how is India, and how is this thing and that thing. I was asking them certain questions about German, because I was highly impressed by the technologies. The German people are known for the technologies, may it be automobile, may it be civil engineering, may it be mechanical. You can rely upon the quality and the long life of the German technologies. So I was asking them about various things and all. During the conversation, I asked that lady one question, and you will be all astonished to know that also. I asked them, "You do not have police in Germany?" She said, "Why are you asking this question?" I said, "Okay, since the time, now it is almost 6 7 days from the airport, we have been going around the city. I have not seen many policemen there. I mean, hardly one or two policemen I have seen, policemen or women I have seen in the during my 6 7 days stay here. I have been going to markets, I have been going to railway stations, metro stations, I have been going to various places. I have not seen police here. You don't have the police here." And my dear friends, I really felt very ashamed when she asked me a question, "Mr. Pramod, why should we have police in the public?" Ashima, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please unmute your video also. So
Yes, sir.
since you are representing the whole participants, she asked me one question: why do we have police in the public? In India, I was so used to seeing the police everywhere. आप बस स्टैंड पे जाओ, स्टेशन पे जाओ, मार्केट में जाओ, कहीं पे रेड लाइट्स हैं तो कहीं सिग्नल है, you have police there. She said, asked me simple question: why should we have police in the public? I could not answer that question. Can you answer this question, Ashima? Why should we have police in the public? Why
Sir,
should we have police at the signals?
we need police in public area because we know the civic sense of our citizens.
I was trying to give her this reason only, Ashima. I told her that, if somebody jumps the red light, then she said, okay, why would anybody jump the red light? I didn't have any answer. So I said, okay, why should we have the police in the at the metro station? I said, okay, somebody may, do something wrong. He said, okay, what wrong somebody can do at the metro station? What wrong a person can do at the bus stand? What wrong a person can do at the market? Can you imagine, ma'am, how difficult it is to answer a person? They are really civil people. They are really civil people. That is why they are developed nations, my dear friends. very high on ethics and values. They value you, the second person, the neighbor person. They don't want to create any trouble for anyone. Yes or no, ma'am?
Yes.
And we need to be civil. We need to have those kind of ethics and values. When we do not require police, we do not require to supervise. Why should we have supervisors? So many supervisors. Why should we have bureaucrats? So many bureaucrats. Why should we have so many managers? We require more people on the technology, on the shop floor, to ensure that whatever I am making is good. Than people who are supervising me, am I making good or no? So this is the difference, my dear friends. This is the difference. This is what. So are you trying to understand what where I am reaching,
Yes.
and how much difficult it is? How much difficult. And I like to share my presentations with all of you now. Uh, Ashima or somebody else like to volunteer for reading the slides with me? Who will like to volunteer? Or should I request Ashima ma'am to continue? Somebody like to volunteer?
I can continue if not anybody else.
Yeah. Okay. Ashima, please continue with your representing everyone in the house here. So, my dear friends, I am continuing with the presentations now on ethics and values, and they really make your life very happy, your life as well as life of your family, friends, and your neighbors. So, ma'am, can you read the slide ethics and values, health and happiness? के बीच में एक इमेज है, इमेज के अंदर एक मैसेज है. Can
Yes,
anybody read that, Ashima ma'am?
yes, sir. Wrong is wrong even if everyone is doing it. Right is right even if nobody is doing it.
Yes. I hope you understand. Anybody would like to volunteer and give me the meaning? What do you want to say by this? Wrong is wrong, even if everyone is doing it, and right is right, even if no one is doing it. So I would like somebody to give me any example, any situation. Ashima, you can also give me any situation or example where this can be proven right.
So it is like a situation like a very common thing we can see among teachers. Very simple thing, with no offense to anybody. Like we should stick to our lecture times. We have a schedule and we should be disciplined enough in our uh, uh, teaching load and teaching schedule. Even if nobody else or other teachers are not following, I should see that I should reach the class on time. I should deliver the maximum during the class. I should utilize that time to the fullest without wasting or talking about not related to topic or to the concern of the student. I should not waste time or kill time and should cover the maximum of the student time because they are here for us only and to gain the knowledge,
Thank you.
even if the
Thank you
others
so
are
much,
not
Ashima.
doing it.
Yes, you have said it very rightly. And we do not require a biometric for that, Ashima. Yes or no?
Yes,
Whether
sir.
Ashima has come to the college in time, then we require a biometric in her classroom also. Whether Ashima has come to the
Reach to
class
the class or
or
not.
did she leave the class. Biometric, or we require some HOD to monitor her, or one director or principal to monitor her. Her means ke, we all. And
Faculty.
when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to all of us.
Okay.
So, if you come 15 minutes late, the timings of the college remain at 9 o'clock. Your college timing is 9 o'clock, and you have come late by 15 minutes. That 15 minutes late does not change the timings of the college or change the clock. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
The wrong will remain wrong. Even if everyone else in the college comes late, students also come late, the wrong will remain
Yeah.
and the right will be right. Ashima will be right if she comes to the class right. even if everyone is, yes or no?
Yes.
This is a very important slide, my dear friends. And this is the basically the whole essence of ethics and values. What values you carry: discipline, punctuality, loyalty, your commitment to your students. Everything is covered under one sentence only here. So many, I have talked about certain values now here, and they are all covered here. And on a signal, if everyone is jumping the red light, there is no policeman there to challan you, and everyone is jumping the red light. Yes or no, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And it happens in our streets, in every city. मेरठ में भी हो रहा है वो, अजमेर में भी हो रहा है वो, चंडीगढ़ में भी हो रहा है, सब जगह पे हो रहा है. If we do not have the cameras, now we put the cameras and we put the red, policemen there to challan you and all. We will see that पुलिस वाला नहीं है, कैमरा नहीं है, तो चलो भैया निकाल लो. Let us jump the red light. My question is, does that red light become clear? Does that red light become green light if no policeman is there,
No.
or there is no camera there? You are not being challaned. No, you are, that red light will remain
Red.
red. The timings of the college will remain night.
Nine.
So now you can spread this two examples anywhere. The wrong is wrong even if no one is doing it, and right is right even if no one is. You don't wait for others. Okay, you stand there. If even if everyone is jumping, you be the right person and observe the signal. And maybe you inspire others. Maybe Ashma will inspire others to come in time. At least her class students, at least some of her friends who value her, and at least some of the neighboring travelers. Okay, Mr. Pramod is standing on the red light, and let us also observe it. We may meet with accident. It is endangering your life and the lives of your own family, your own friends, your own neighborhood, your own citizens. And why should we require a camera for that? And coming back to the story of Munich again, after few years, I went to German again. Yes, third time. This time it was third time. Last year only, 2021 June, I was there to stay. मैम आपका मोबाइल आपका वो बंद हो गया, म्यूट है आप.
So by mistake.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So I went to Germany again, and I was astonished to see. I was thinking it is a very high-tech city, one of the modern cities of Germany, and the systems are there that if you are having a parcel coming to your home and you are not at home, जैसे अमेजोन से आपने कोई चीज खरीदी या कहीं से कोई चीज खरीदी आपने, एंड द और यू हैव ए डाकिया, आपका डाक आ गया, आपका पोस्ट आ गया, कुछ एनीथिंग टू डिलीवरी बॉय और डिलीवरी गर्ल or your post, regular post, person will come and put the things in front of your door. It may be very valuable thing, it may not be valuable thing, and if you are not there for 3 days, it will keep lying there for 3 days. Nobody will touch it. I experienced that in 2021 also, when I stayed there for 1 month with my daughter there. I asked her, nobody will pick up. She said, Papa, nobody will pick it up. Nobody ever picks up anybody's thing. If you forget anything in the train, in the metro, in the bus, they forgot twice. Once she forgot her mobile phone, which was traced. Once my son-in-law forgot his laptop in the metro, S-Bahn, what they call it, U-Bahn and S-Bahns, and it was traced back. He said nobody ever touches anybody's thing. And my wife, she kept her mobile in a shop, and the shopkeeper were running after us that you have forgotten your mobile here. We are trying to find its owner. They were all around in the shop to find out who is the owner of this mobile. I'm not trying to promote a particular country. I'm trying to promote wrong is wrong, even if everyone is doing it. Right is right, even if no one is. What values we are carrying, where we are, what for we require supervisors, what for we. And I was astonished to know. I asked her, do you have, in our homes nowadays we are keeping. पहले तो हम लोग सिर्फ बाहर ही रखते थे. In our institute, we are having more than 70 cameras in
Yes, sir.
our corridors, in the gate,
CCTV.
this, that,
Yes, sir.
78 cameras in our institute campus. It is a very
Almost in
good,
every corridor.
very good institute. In my own room, in director's room, in this, some key areas में हम लोग कैमरे रखे हुए हैं. आई आस्क्ड हर कि डू यू स्ट्रीट में तो आजकल जो नया कंस्ट्रक्शन करवाते हैं घर में, they keep the cameras in the drawing rooms, in the living area, so that somebody may steal the things and he can be recognized.
Yes.
Shopkeepers अपने in the streets and all. uh, I said, KB, do you have cameras so that somebody may pick up your delivery things and then somebody? He said, K, the first thing you are going to be sued if you report that I have lost something in front of my door or inside my home, and if you have put the camera, they will be searching that thing later on. That will be traced definitely. But the first thing they will be sued is why have you put the camera?
And
Why are you doubting somebody integrity जिसकी हमने बात करी through that story that somebody may steal it? It means you have no faith on your fellow beings. See where we are, where we are. I am talking about ethics and values, integrity, significance of integrity. Imagine yourself in a life where you have this kind of people around you who value you, who don't push you, who don't, jump the queue, who do not do, we require policemen to put us in the queue, waiting for waiting for my turn to come, and we require a policeman for that also.
for that also.
And many times we fail. The policeman fails to do discipline. 10 लोग हैं, only 10 people are waiting for their turn, and we require somebody to police us, telling me that my turn will be fourth in the row, and we require person for that also. How shameful it is. Yes, Ashima, or no?
Yes, sir.
Class
Listening
monitor
to you
take
makes it more embarrassing.
I mean, this is such we never noticed it.
Yes.
I wouldn't have noticed it had I not visited those civilizations whom we call developed nations. I gave you example of Germany. So was the case in many other countries. I went to almost 20 countries. At least in 15 to 16 countries out of that had this kind of a network and systems there. My dear friends, going to the next slide now. Okay, we will skip this one. Ashima will tell what the ethic is.
So ethics is knowing the difference between what you have a right to do and what is right to do.
Potter Stewart, who is authority on ethics, has given this reply. If you will put it on the Google, you will get many replies. What is ethics are? What are the values and all? I am not going in so much of details of that, though I have more than 80 slides, 90 slides on this. But then let me say that ethic is a very simple thing. Knowing the difference between what you have right to do. आपका अधिकार क्या है? What are my rights? And what is
Right. Correct.
ठीक क्या है?
Correct.
What is the correct way of doing it? मेरा अधिकार है I can come late. मेरा अधिकार है I can jump the red light and pay the policeman, the challan and everything, whatever wrongs which we are doing, every breathing in and breathing out, you see around yourself. Just to give you another example here, I can give you so many slides, but then slides are not so important than sharing the experiences. When I went to Germany this time, I'm just sharing this example of one country only, and that was true even in USA. So when I went there first time in probably 91, I went there. My sister lives in Chicago, and I went to her home in 91. I asked her, which is the drinking water in your kitchen? She was staying there already 10 years. She said, Pramod, you open up any tap in USA, it is a drinking water. It will not harm you. I asked the same question in 2021 to my daughter in Germany, which is the drinking water in the home. I am here for 1 month. Which water I should drink? She said, now you are in Munich. Whatever tap you will open, you will get a drinking water. Ethics and values. We have civil engineers We have public health engineers whose only responsibility is that when Ashima opens a tap, she should get a potable drinking water. Doesn't it? Doesn't it his or her responsibility, whosoever is the municipal corporation, whosoever is supplying water in your homes, isn't it his responsibility that you do not get diseases if you take a water from that tap? Why should we have ROs? Why should we have so much of plastic में पानी पीने हम लोग उसके अपने cancerous effects?
Yes.
Where we are leading to, man. Ethics and values. And we require our students to learn all these things so that we get a clean drinking water. We take a food, we do not know what kind of food, adulterated food we are taking. And if we are unwell by consuming adulterated food, we go take a medicine and we get the adulterated medicines now. What will happen? I am not a pessimistic person, believe me. I am a very optimistic person. That is why I am here and talking to you about ethics and values. I am trying to only generate some kind of a commotion in your minds and in your hearts, so that when we pass out, when we churn out the students from our engineering colleges, they not only learn the hardcore engineering, which they should know, they should also have the heart for doing the right things. My responsibility is I design as a civil engineer a cross section where nobody should meet accidents because of my wrong design of the cross section. And if my design is wrong, Madam Meenakshi gave you introduction, I am a person from irrigation and hydraulics. If I construct a dam and I design a dam, and if a dam fails, what will happen?
Disaster.
A very, very big disaster. If Bhakra Dam, which is near
Yes.
Chandigarh, fails, Chandigarh will have at least 1 feet of water everywhere in the city. What to talk of immediate downstream populations, the villages and the towns which are close to the dam, and they are failing. Canals are failing. Our structures are failing. आज रोड बनती है, after few months, few years, it is failing. And we have those data with us, what it takes to be having a good cross section of a highway. They are there. They are there in the countries, and we have our own specifications. Anyway, going to the next one. Right thing to do at the right time. There is no wrong time to do right thing. There is no wrong time to do a right thing. Is there is time to do a right thing or a wrong thing?
No, sir.
There is not. It is never wrong to do a right thing. There is, Mark Twain said, and Charles M. Blow said, there is no wrong time to do a right thing. Every time. There is a system. There are specified behavior expected from a person. You have to do that. And how should I choose my behavior, conduct, and act? Again, the same thing. C.S. Lewis, who is authority on ethics and values, said integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching.
Watching.
When no one is watching you, you are of your own. Even if there is no traffic, not a single soul on the road, if it is mentioned there, stop, look, and proceed. I have seen people stopping their cars
Yes.
in USA, in Germany, in Canada, in UK. They stop their car, nobody is there. And they like to watch around and then they will proceed. If they do not apply the brakes at that time at that cross section, they will be not issued the licenses at the first place. When the licenses are being issued, they are very strict on that. It is getting a undergraduate degree from NIT or IIT, like, because you are risking so many other lives. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
How should I choose my behavior and conduct? Do what is right, not what is
Easy.
very easy. Jumping a red light is very easy. I can make a very easy money by small corruptions, by petty, things here and there. Not, it's very easy, but maintaining my dignity, maintaining my integrity, uh, my behavior, my conduct, and my act should be right, not what is easy. And today, largely especially our message to the younger generation, they want to have a biggest car, biggest bungalow, biggest of everything, and the easy money by getting into the wrong things, by getting into the wrong practices. Largely, I'm not generalizing it with everyone, but many of them. Do what is right, not what is easy, and nor what is
Popular.
popular. I give you example of red light. It is very popular that everybody is jumping red light. You also jump there. So it is very popular, very easy. But do the right. You be the example. It's very popular that everyone is coming late. Nobody cares about the syllabus. Nobody cares about the students in understanding and all. But you be that. You do that. Now, Ashima, I want your
Yes.
special attention. Ashima means every one
Yes.
of you.
Yes.
Special attention on this slide, because this slide is probably going to be my concluding slide. I may go for one or two more slides, but then this is a slide which talks about a recipe. Ashima, do you cook food in the home?
Yes, sir.
And you have a recipe for making good dishes?
Yes, sir.
The ingredients are very important. The process is very important.
Yes.
And then you get, वाह वाह क्या खाना बनाया आशिमा जी ने या anybody. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now here Swami Vivekananda has given us a recipe for achieving prosperity and becoming great. Nation. He has talked about nation. What is nation? You and me are nation. Our homes are nation. Our states are nation. My city is a part of the nation. Our college
Yes.
is part of the nation. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And who does not want to achieve greatness and
Prosperity.
achieve prosperity?
Prosperity.
Each one of us. I want my home to be great. People should know us and achieve the prosperity. And Swami Vivekananda has given the recipe for that. What is the recipe? Three ingredients. Self,
Self-discipline, social responsibility, and cooperative work attitude.
if you are self-disciplined, I do not require biometric. I do not require HOD. I do not require supervisors to supervise my integrity on the work, my sincerity and my dedication and my commitment to my work, my discipline, my everything. If I am self-disciplined, I am saving so much of brain which I am spending on the supervision, on the police, on the other things. Those people can also be not only supervising, ऐसे करके वो supervise नहीं कर रहे, but they are part of the quality and the service to the society. Self discipline. मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दी, no police, what for you require the police? And imagine amount of money, amount of everything. Last month, no, this month only, on 1st January, I was reading in the newspaper in 2022 in Chandigarh city, which is one of the disciplined and one of the literate cities of the India. More than 5 lakh challans were made by Chandigarh police of the people who were making offenses on the roadside. 5 lakh, more than 5 lakh. Total population of the city is about 10 to 12 lakh. So you can imagine how, and you can imagine what must be happening in other cities. Chandigarh is known for disciplined drivers. More than 5 lakhs. We require policemen. And policemen are also making offense, so we require police over the police. IG of the Chandigarh city में जो IG हैं पुलिस में, his responsibility is for my security. Yes or no? SP की responsibility है for the security of the area under their control. And he himself is insecure. उसके ऊपर भी 2 guard लगे हुए हैं फिर. His personal guards. The chain is endless, Ashima ma'am.
Yes.
Do you agree with me on this?
Yes, sir.
We don't have self-discipline. We require when a small minister will pass through the traffic, the whole traffic will be stopped and he is permitted to pass. If the prime minister of the country passes through Munich city, nobody will come to know about it. We do not have that kind of system here, or in USA, or in Canada, or in UK. We don't have that kind of system. If he has to go to the, you know, the market, किसी store में जाना है, he will go with like an ordinary person. I have so many videos about that also. Social responsibility. My dear friends, the COVID, I few months back, uh, we had this pandemic, COVID आया. So I was also affected by that. During that time, I was not too mobile. I was restricted to one room in my home. And during that time, I was trying to study the WHO reports, AIMS key reports, many other reports. And I was working on how it can be eradicated. Eradicated means no COVID in the country. And I found 6 steps, simple 6 steps we can eradicate COVID from the country, from the city, from the world even. And उसमें सबसे बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट बात मैंने जो लिखी, आई रोट अ लेटर टू द प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी साहब को मैंने लेटर लिखा कि इफ यू वांट टू eradicate कोविड, follow this 6 step and it can be eradicated in 21 days. And one of the important things during those 21 days was social responsibility. If I try to close certain things, what will happen to people who are dependent on their daily wages? Yes, it is a communicable, and if I am able to put up a barrier between the people who are affected and people who are not affected by a disease, I need to separate them, segregate them, and in that segregation, I must be very, very strict with the people for only 21 days. And what it takes for supporting your own people who have been serving you for 21 days. For example, somebody asked me a question. I was talking to about that in August 2020. We celebrated Independence Day, and I was giving speech. Dr. Meenakshi must have heard me giving that speech in my institute Independence Day celebrations. I said that if my servant, my maid, is not able to come to the job for 21 days, her husband, who is plying a auto rickshaw, her auto rickshaw is being stopped because of the COVID and all. We can want to segregate people. And for 21 days, can't I feed their family? Actually, I told my wife during that time that you increase the salary to double and tell her not to come to the home. We can clean the home for a few days, a few months, till the time the situation is under control. And I asked my washerman, जो धोबी था हमारे मोहल्ले में, that do you have enough ration? If you do not have, I can provide. I asked my painter, I have his number. I asked my electrician, I asked my carpenter. I called them and I asked them, I am not a rich person. I am a teacher like you. There are many people who can support in a bigger way. And if each one of them who have been serving me for many, many years, my washerman and my carpenter and my electrician or my maid in the home or the taxi driver who's my very favorite taxi driver, I know that they are out of their jobs now, who are depending on their daily wages. It is my social responsibility that during this time I support them. If we are able to do that, we can eradicate the COVID. We can fight any problem in the life. I gave you one very serious problem which we all are facing and many people in the world are facing. Cooperative work attitude, my dear friends. The less I speak about it, the better it is. We want to pull everybody's legs. You know, uh, every one of us has certain strengths and certain weaknesses. We require both this person and this person. This person with these strengths, the other person with these strengths. And if we cooperate, we can utilize their strengths and minimize the effect of the weaknesses which even the strongest person is having. and the nation can. The home can prosper. There can be greatness can be achieved. And all these things are not part of your hard skills. Discipline, social responsibility, cooperative work attitude is team working, interpersonal relationships, caring for others, empathy. There are big words for that. Compassion and all those things come under social responsibility. What is my social responsibility? Towards my fellow being, towards my colleagues, towards my neighbor, towards my family members, towards my friends. If we are able, if we are having some understanding about this and take concrete and tangible steps towards that, we can have greatness and achieve prosperity. We require all people with all their strengths and weaknesses. And we require the strengths to be utilized and weaknesses to be countered. What it takes to be a great leader, why I put this slide is first of all because in this country and in many countries, we have leadership crisis. Even in the developed nation also, we are having leadership crisis. What it takes to be a great leader will take the country to greater heights, prosperity and greatness. And great leaders are ones who create a few non-negotiable ethics and values. Non-negotiable. उसके ऊपर फिर compromise नहीं होता. Everybody will be equal. And there is a saying in the phrase in English that we say everybody is equal, but some are more equal. In that equality also we create somebody who are more equal. No. Non-negotiable ethics and values for the organization which they follow strictly. They themselves follow and the people of that country follow those ethics and values which they have created. We have one of the biggest, largest democracies in the world, and we have the biggest constitution in the world, but we require so much of police. And in spite of that police, because of the lack of ethics and values, we are not able to implement those laws. Enforcement of the law is more important than the law itself. It will never happen that I tell my son or my daughter that you don't watch TV, you focus on the studies. And I keep watching TV all the time in my drawing room. It will never happen. Non-negotiable. So maybe equal. Yes or no, ma'am?
Yes.
So these are my small issues, my dear friends. Legacy of a leader. I have taken a quote from Ratan Tata. Ashima ma'am, can you read it for everyone, please?
Yes, sir. Apart from values and ethics, which I have tried to live by, the legacy I would like to leave behind is a very simple one. That I have always stood up for what I consider to be the right thing, and I have tried to be as fair and equitable as I could be.
See, the Ratan Tata, son of J.R.D. Tata, he said that he want to leave behind a legacy for his progeny, जो उसकी next generation आने वाली हैं. What he want to leave? A very simple thing. I have always stood up for what is considered to be a right.
Right.
Tatas are known for that. What is considered to be right? He wants this legacy to be followed by his next generation. And I have tried to live and be as fair and equitable as could be. And my dear friends, the session can go on. The slides, you know it all very well. Let me share, if you all permit me, a small video.
Yes, sir, please.
All of you, please permit me to share this video.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let us see the video of the values of Ratan Tata only first of all. Okay. See what is values. And somebody has given account, a very, very close associate with Ratan Tata. Is it visible to all of you? Should I play? You may like to increase the volume of your laptops or your mobile phone from wherever you are logging in and listen to it very carefully.
I have heard that this gentleman called Ratan Tata, very near up to his, when he was as the chairman of the House of Tatas, now he's heading the Tata Trust, used to live in an old Parsi boxwala type 3-bedroom hall
In
kitchen.
Bakhtavar.
In Bakhtavar.
Correct.
and where in fact I think Mr. Ghazar also used to live. Mr. Ratan Tata used to live in a 3-bedroom hall kitchen, and only after after the age of 75 did he make himself a bungalow, as they call. That kind of simplicity, despite heading the most or the biggest industrial group in India.
See, I think ultimately it's about the kind of human being you are.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to. Last year on February 6, 2018, Prince Charles wanted to give Ratan Tata the Lifetime Achievement Award for Philanthropy at Buckingham Palace.
Yes.
Everything was set. It was under the auspices of the British Asian Trust. I reached London on the 2nd or the 3rd of February, and there were 11 missed calls from Mr. Tata.
Yeah.
So I said, God, what's happened? So I'm picking up my bags at Heathrow from the conveyor belt, and I called Mr. Tata. I said, what's happened? He says Tango and Tito, his dogs.
Yes.
One of them had fallen terribly ill.
Yes.
He's saying, I can't leave him and come.
So
I told him-
sensitive.
I said, Mr. Tata, Prince Charles has organized this Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yes.
He didn't come.
He did come.
And you know what Prince Charles said?
Yes.
He says, that's a man. You know, Shakespeare ends Julius Caesar in a very fine way. He says the elements were so mixed in him of Brutus that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man. That's the man that Ratan is. That's why the house is what it is. That's why the house of Tata is what it is. That's why it is on stable course. Leadership is not about what you do. Leadership is also about what you believe in. And sometimes what you do and what you believe in merge.
Merge.
Often we do things that we want other people to see. We do it for the optics.
Yes.
He generally believes.
So my dear friends, you can understand the values. By these small videos, we have so many examples in our own country and many world leaders. All our scriptures are full of people who have demonstrated those values. Somehow we just read them as a routine, and we don't try to bring them in our behavior, in our conduct, in our acts. That's what my only humble suggestion to all of you is. And if you permit me, before I go, let me share another small video with all of you.
Yes, sir, please.
This video is about the universal human values की बात करते हैं जब हम universal human values की. Compassion is one of them. Let us watch this small video. This video is having subtitles, and you don't have to worry too much about what the dialogue is. Just see 3 minutes video. I'll replay. Please read the subtitles very carefully, because the whole story is about the subtitles. The real kindness, the real compassion, the real empathy. We talk about, I can give lectures on this. I give lectures on empathy, compassion, sympathy, mercy, pity, forgiveness. When you have something and you need it, and somebody else needs it more than me, and you are ready to give that. These are the universal human values. And somewhere in our journey, in our rush of the life, we have forgotten and we do not bring those values in our behavior and our conduct. And we expect other people, everyone to stop at the red light when it is green light for me. We expect that, yes or no?
Yes.
My dear friends, I can go on. As I mentioned in the beginning of my session, that this is very dear topic to me. I have not even begun with my slides, but then within 1.5 hours, I have tried to arouse your uh, interest and the significance of this ethics and values, and why in the national education policy it is given so much of place, and it cannot be taught. It can only be given by our role models, like Dr. Ashima here or many of my colleagues here. If we stop at the red light, if I come to my class fully prepared for my sessions, I'm setting up good examples and playing a role model. Attitudes, ethics, and values can only be taught by playing a role. You yourself play that role. There is no shortcut in that. Thank you so much, my dear friends. Any questions in your mind, please ask me.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Ashima. And thank you so much, Garima. And thank you so much, Manju, and every one of you.
Thank you, sir.
Janitike, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so very much, and I'm sure that all the participants might have really enjoyed the session, and obviously the takeaways are many. And I know it is difficult for sir to stop in 1.5 hour on this topic because this topic can be spoken for the 5 days also.
I
So
do
thank
that,
you so
ma'am.
very much, sir, for on behalf of all the participants also. And I would, if some queries, some questions, or because usually sir session is interactive, so you might have interacted and discussed about some points in the session itself. Uh, Otherwise, some if some queries are still there, or some participant wants to put some question or some concern.
Well, friends, if there are no questions, I take it in two ways. Number one, uh, that whatever I said was meaningless for you, or on the I being a positive person, take it that you have carried home some message from here to share with your students, to share with your family members, with your friends, with your colleagues, so that we have a more ethical, we have more value-based society, wherein it is pleasure to live in. Thank you so much, Dr. Meenakshi, for the opportunity. Thank you so much.